I am Teboho Simpe. I have one name. I don't have no apartheid names. Yes. I think my parents were wise then. When Tando sent me the invitation to be a speaker, it was, there's certain things that that introspection that you go through alone. And there's this journey you want to take, but you haven't found the name yet. And when I saw authentic self-love, I was like, yes, she nailed it, because that's what I'm going through now. On the 6th of May, I turned 30. And my 20s were not rough. They were a tsunami. They were the worst 10 years of my life. Firstly, growing up, I grew up a very confused child. Not confused in a messed up household, but confused because of what society expects us to be. I come from a very traditional family that has traditional healers that practices polygamy, and then I'm brought up in this Lani suburbs with this accent, and now merging the two worlds, it's very difficult. And talking to your friends for them to understand who you are, because now you're talking about taboo things to them. Number one, polygamy, they don't understand. Why does your uncle have so many wives? And when this aunt visits him, you say, no, it's my uncle's third wife. And they're like, how? Like, why are they having so many? I have 32 male cousins and 5 female cousins. So when I throw a braai, I need a venue this big, just for cousins. And I come from a very cultural family that certain things are not communicated. You can't just sit your uncle down and say, Mara, why? You guys are polygamists. It's disrespectful. So as you're growing up, you are in this confused little bubble, alone, trying to figure out why am I different? Because you're growing up with other races around you. You're trying to fit in there. But back at home in Limpopo, you are a totally different person. So constantly you are at war with who you are, because there I'm Teboho obolelang sepedi to the T. This side, I'm the black girl who twangs, who goes to a private school, who gets picked up, and you don't find any black kids that relate to you. So those were the teens. The 20s, my health was showing me flames also, due to a car accident that left me in a coma for months, had to learn how to walk. So it was a journey. And still today, I'm still paying for my spine to be able to stand straight. So it was a lot of things that life took me. But I believe that the Lord and my ancestors placed me in a department at Nedbank that frustrated the hell out of me to wake me up. They gave me the worst superior in life ever that made sure that when I wake up and I go take a shower at home, I'm in tears. That's how I hated my job. And one day at work, she said something to me that rattled my soul. She said to me, if you come from such a wealthy family, why are you here? And I was like, the thing is, people take possessions and materialism and they think that you're wealthy. That is not wealth. I come from a polygamist family. You could ask yourself, if we are almost 40 cousins, and we have the eldest uncle or father or whoever, how long, what waiting list are you, number bani, on the waiting list to speak to that person? Because already you book your own blood, you book to speak to him because of his work, commitment. I was brought up in a functional home. That's what they say. But I grew up without my father for him to provide the materialism. I grew up with a single parent that I saw crying for years. She's empty inside. She's in a marriage that gives her the what society thinks makes a woman happy. You have the cars, you have the mansions, and in Limpopo you are the it girl. In the suburbs you are the it woman, but you don't have your partner. Yes, he took us to private schools. Yes, we love him, but we don't know him. I can't tell you my father's hobbies, but that he's a journalist. I can't tell you much about my dad because there were years where we only saw him 3 months in 1 year. I have spent so many Christmases without him. I don't relate to him. And with the whole not relating to him, he also had kids outside that kept on popping in the family that my mom had to take in because my culture said, Mosadi utshwara thipa ka bogaleng, meaning that she needs to bear any crap he brings. Basically, yes. And you are in this confused bubble. Now you're getting a new sister that you need to love and take as your own. And then now you love this one. Boom, there comes another one. You're like, hey, what? So, and then you check the birthdays, you're like, oh, she's like three weeks younger than my other sister. I know. This man was very busy. And then after that, years after, my mother finds a bill from Vert, there's another child he's paying for. And now we are 4 sisters, 2 from my mom, 2 from outside, which my mom always says, for now. We don't know. Could be 2. It's 2 for now, until the other ones come also and show up. So you imagine this family, and the one thing that we took from our dad is the brains. I grew up knowing that I'm highly intelligent, but I was embarrassed to tell people that I'm smart. Because in my native nation, when you tell people that you're smart, it's taken as if you are bragging. You think that you are the it's. And it's very oppressive because you cannot be fully you. It's very tough to fully love who this person is because I believe that God gives us all gifts, and my gift, he gave me brains. But some, they can show off because they can dance, and that's their gift. But I can't because in my culture, in my race, it's perceived to be bragging. And when you are in that situation, it's very tough because every time you need to be you need to be a different person, different people. When you're alone, you are a different person. That's why I say I grew up very confused. You're trying to fit in at all times. I am very Afrocentric. I love the beats, the everything Africa. But the area that I grew up in, it's like you were pink and everybody else was white. If you come with beads, so you need to dress to accommodate the people that you're going to be with, and then when you leave, you're a different person. I grew up big. I have never been skinny. That's why when people say to me, when are you going to lose weight? I always ask them, have you ever seen me skinny? And when they say no, I'm like, so what are you looking for? Because I've never been skinny. If you tell me about a picture you once saw a few years ago, then we're talking. So when I tapped into authentic self-love, going back to the department that pushed me to follow my passions. I remember the day I typed my resignation letter, I was in tears at my desk. And When I went to the boardroom, the senior managers, Afrikaans, and I remembered my grandmother's words and she used to say, to get to somebody's heart, you need to speak their home language. They understand you, they feel you, and I told him in Gombe's Afrikaans why I was leaving. Because what I typed and why I was leaving, they were two different things. In corporate, what you type to say, I'm leaving because I'm going to study or whatever, most of the people, they're lying. It's because they're unhappy and they're scared to say, I'm unhappy. And when I sat there and I looked at him and I looked at her and I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm leaving. Tell them the truth. Tell them that I think you guys really treat me like crap. What more do I have to lose? Are they going to block my last salary? I don't care. And when I told him, he said to me, he doesn't think I belong there. He said, you have a calling to go heal people's souls with your public speaking skills. This is a man I never spoke to. This is a man that only said good morning to me. And that was an aha moment. I've never spoken to this guy. And I asked him, can I take you out for coffee? Can we walk? Because we walked in a mall. And I asked him, what do you mean? And it's like, every time when you speak to people, you have a commanding voice. People listen to you, use it. Not a lot of people have that. But then, going back home, you grew up this confused child. I'm into art in my late 20s. My 30s are rough. Met a man that made me pregnant, left me at 4 months pregnant. You know that thing that we like, it's like self-pity. You like creating this bubble because you don't want to get out and face the truth. Because the truth hurts. The truth means that you need to rip off all these things that are comforting you, making you warm, and be scared and terrified for the future. The truth means that you need to face the devil face to face and say, I'm coming out now. All guns are out. And I had to sit down. Now, I have resigned. I have not completed my law degree. I have a 6-year-old. I'm a, what do you call this? Single mother. The father ran away, I don't know, long time ago. I'm still living with my parents. Yeah, I'm turning 30. And then my sister's behind me. Hey, they're graduating, man. And I'm the eldest. Now you have this pressure. There's this certain unspoken pressures in black families. When the one behind you graduates, there's a look that your father gives you, like, yes. And then the one after her graduates, and you're like, okay. And then they move out. I'm the only one left at home. And I'm the eldest. And that day I had to I write. And I took a piece of paper and I wrote down, the first thing that I wrote down, I said, where did I go wrong? Because in the teens, I had this laid out life. When I'm going to buy the car, the cluster, when I'm going to travel, I even had a world map with pins where I'm going. And yeah, never been to none of those countries. And I sat there and I said, without it, I had a very close relationship with my grandfather. He raised me when my mom went back to school to complete her studies. And he used to say, there's a time in life where the only two people in the room is you and yourself. And you need to look at that person in the mirror and say, I have failed you, but I forgive you. Because you will never move from where you are, because you are constantly saying, I'm such a mess. Look at my sisters. Oh, they're moving out. Oh, this one is even buying a car. Oh, my dad's looks are getting worse. Oh, and you need to pass from that. But it is an emotionally exhausting. I'm a crier, but I think I cry for everything. So probably that day I cried buckets. And the good thing is there was nobody at home for the whole weekend, so I had me for the whole weekend. And I wrote everything that I never achieved, that I wanted to achieve. And I wrote everything that I think makes me stand out. I never completed my law degree because I used to cover it up with my car accident. It was my comfort zone. No, but I had to learn how to walk. What did they expect? I didn't know, but... So every time it's like, it's a shield. Every time you say no, but I learned how to, but I can walk now. I was like, okay, fine, now you can walk here. What are you going to do about that? And I remember telling Thando that, hey, I'm going back to school full-time at the age of 30. The last time I was at VET, I was 19 years old. And I remember when I opened their website and I was registering, I think I opened it 15 times and closing it. No, maybe part-time, full-time, no. And I'm like, but I asked myself, what am I going to do at home if I'm doing part-time? What am I running away from? You're saying you've got brains, but you don't want to go and apply them. Then I finally registered. Then they sent the acceptance, paid the registration. Then came the first day. Oh! Then this girl walks. I even told my mother, no, I'm going to dress a bit young. See, I don't look 30. Yeah. Some Snickers, these new in Snickers. Yeah, they must not tell there's a go-go in the class. And then I go there, and I believe that the universe communicates with us all the time. It's just that we are never silent enough to hear what it says to us. When I got to class, I looked at the register, and I saw an ID number that I could not calculate how old is this person. Now I feel, I'm not the go-go in that class. Yes. And when he walked in, he was 74 years old. He is a qualified doctor. He last did his law degree when it was still 7 years. Fantuka. Now he wants to complete it. It's both our last years there. And I chose to have a conversation with him. Because I believe when you speak to the elders, they tell you wisdom of where they have passed in life. They don't tell you things that, unfortunately with our generation, we value each other with the watch you're wearing, the shoes you're wearing. Ooh, did you see Thando is driving an A5? Now you listen to her. But elderly people, they've passed through that. They've seen that you can have all the possessions, the materialism, but life is more than that. And when I had a conversation with him, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy you're here. I thought I was going to be the eldest person here. And he's like, never care what people think of you, because this is your life journey. You see, there could be the 2,000 kids, but believe you, me and you, because of wisdom, we're going to pass way better than them. Because we have a clear vision why we're here. They're still dribbling around. No, I want to make mommy happy. No, I want to make dad. They're not even sure why they study this. And from that day onwards, I was like, this Mkhulu is right. I don't owe nobody an explanation why I'm 30 and I'm still at school and I have a backpack. It's fine. Then the next morning, I have a backpack. I'm waiting for my bus. There comes this neighbor. Oh, how? You're no longer working. I'm like, no, I'm going to school. Oh, no, okay, you're doing your master's. She said that because my siblings have been graduating, so she just, in a way, assumed that the firstborn must be on the honors list. This one, these ones below. So I was like, yeah, thank you. And I was like, but I'm lying. Oh. So I said to her, no, I'm going to complete my degree. And she said to me, no, I'm very proud of you. And when she walked away, it hurt because my father has never said that to me. He always, there's the other day I told him that you have a look that says a million words. You don't have to say anything. And he said, because he's also into arts and he's very in touch with his soul. He said to me, elaborate. I said, when you look at us, the four of us, the one that comes after me, she's a medical doctor. After she completed her degree, you started treating us differently. You started treating us with the titles at work, not as your daughters. Because this one, when you are chilling with the guys on a bottle of whiskey, but he's got a doctorate, so he can say, there's 2 doctors in the house. Yeah, I've got a doctorate in pedagogics, and that one is a medical doctor. And it hurts, because as his daughters, he doesn't need to see our titles. We are his kids. Because as much as I am the one who's academically not have achieved, but I run his household. And the other day when they were sitting there and they were going on and on and on about, varsity, when you get your honors and what. And I was like, you know what, Kia, I'll just break the ice. And I said to them, but my bank account is bigger than yours. Because I was born a hustler. I know how to make money. I know how to network. And I know how to sell anything that somebody doesn't see value in it. And I taught myself that in my early 20s, and I went with it, and it's making me money. So that's why I said, best day bubble man, how? They're busy, hey, now I'm a doctor, hey, I'm like, hey, now I've got money. And going back to the list, I resigned, went back home. Oh, by the way, I resigned, and nobody at home knew that I was resigning. Went back home and I said to my dad on Skype, I resigned at work today. And he said, no, it's good. Those people are teaching you like a, but what are you going to do now? Then I said to him, no, let me go back to the drawing board, I'll tell you. Then when I went back to the drawing board, I said, but the major problem there was not the job. It was your emotional instability. You have so many things packed in you that every small thing triggers and it becomes over-exaggerated. And then nothing is ever dealt with. I'm a very shy person and I don't know how to communicate hurt. I shut down and then I let go. So when I was growing up, I used to think that I don't get attached to people. It was because I have taught myself the worst skill ever to let people go. That's why I don't have friends, because you say something bad to me, I'm then out. It's like a reflex action. When I delete your number, I've deleted you in my life. It's because I taught myself that because of the type of family I live in. You come from a very big family. I'm not from an ordinary family. So if I delete you, I still have more. So it's like, whatever. And sitting down with that list, it made me understand that I need to accept who I am. I need to accept my background. I need to accept that I'm different for my foundation to be laid so that I can build this house. I need to accept that he left, and it was not because of me. He left because he was not ready to be a father. I need to accept that, yes, I was in a car accident and I used my walking and spine thing for years not to complete my law degree. I need to accept that I come from a polygamous family. You don't choose where you are born. And that's who I am. I need to accept that you have failed yourself. I think that is the biggest thing that we run away from. Yes, you've done yourself wrong, and I forgive you and I still love you, but now let's start from here. And I remembered that to start afresh, you need to clean away the dirt. Then I sat down, I'm like, okay, fine, this boyfriend, why am I with him? Because social media says when you are in your 20s and you do, late 20s and you don't have a boyfriend, there's something wrong with you. And I was like, I need to transform and be a new person. Let's tell him there's nothing wrong with you, but I need to find me, because I don't know who's me. Because there was no question that hurt me, like, who are you? Because it will linger. I will just be everywhere. Then, dumped the poor guy. Hey. Then I was like, so what do we do? This runaway daddy, let's sit him down and make him understand, dude, you've had 7 years of a free ride. I need to find me, you need to start taking care of your child. Because a lot of things I've picked up that they're never done because they're never spoken. We assume. He assumed that, oh, she's grand. She's not saying anything. The child is glowing. She's also glowing. All is good. Then I sat him down and I said to him, I've done my part. It's your time now. I didn't make this child alone. I need to find me. I need to reconnect with myself. There is nothing as sad as when you are in a group of people and people are chatting and they're having fun and mentally you're very far. Because you are searching. It's like a lingering soul. You're asking yourself, yo, my Tando looks very happy. Yo, hey, yeah, no, but Terry's on point. Yo, things are you are busy scanning yourself with other people because you are dead empty inside. And the only way I could transform and find my authentic self-love is to be alone. Sometimes this journey you need to be away from everybody. As much as it can be tough, and the most difficult thing to do is find you. Find what you love. Take yourself out for movies. I think I haven't been in movies in 10 years. Take yourself out. Go take a walk. Listen to the music that you love and hear it. I think a lot of things we do it because everybody's doing it. Most people, they even play music in their cars, and if you could ask them what artist is that, they're not there. It's just playing on its own. Be present in what's happening around you. Love this person. Acknowledge that you're Afrocentric, you're different, you're made different because God doesn't duplicate people. And love that. Love that you are big. Yes, I'm big, so what? Be who you are. And I decided, okay, fine, let's because now you have found that you're Afrocentric, yeah, let's join this Pan-Africanist groups. And I've been a love of African literature. I read a lot, and there is a man, he's a journalist, a Pan-Africanist. I have followed his work I think from when I was 15 years old. His name is Mzilakazi wa Africa. And when we on the group, and he sent me a private message, he said hi. I was jumping around in my home. He said hi to me. Oh my goodness. I even screen dumped it. I'm like, no, I'm saving it. Oh, Mzilakazi. And when we met at Sandton for the meeting, that's when I was like, there are people that you can Google, and when you let go of all the mess and you make yourself light and follow your passions and what you're good at, the universe can give you exactly what you're looking for. And I was sitting there and I was like, yeah, I'm sitting with Mzila. I said, oh my God. I'm like, hi, seriously? Like, and when we started chatting, then I was like, it's like a puzzle. It gives you bits and pieces to lead you to where you are, where you need to be at. And I was like, okay, cool, now I've met this one. Then I attended a debate, and after the debate with Blade, this guy from ANC, man, and Karina Brown was there. I have followed her all my life from 702, and she said to me, you spoke very well. Can you please give me your cell phone number? And I was like, oh, Lord, I've made it. And from coming back home, I realized that you need to be shaken really badly in life. You need to be at a point where it's really uncomfortable. And that department, thank God they placed me there. Because if I was never shaken by those two, I wouldn't have left because of the safety zone of, but how am I going to fend for my child? Oh, Tabang ran away. Hey, and now my dad is going to look at me funny worse because now I don't even have a job. Oh, and now I am looking at, it's 6 months into the year, passed all my exams. I'm like, yeah, good. So I'm left with 6 months, then I complete the LLB. Hey, man, now I'm going to have a law degree. Oh, this girl is smart. Attending shows and being taught how to write by a man that I used to admire all my life for free. I attend dinners with Karina Brown that is trying to mentor me to get into radio. All the passions that Terry was saying that you write about. And when you go back, you're thinking, you know what was the major problem? You were holding on to who you were not. Who you are not supposed to be. Every day we are male. Like I know for the 20th, but not remembering that you literally minusing years in your life. And then you are papa, you're 45, like, Joe, what happened? Like everything else. And then when you go back, it's because you were holding on to something that was not yours. It's like a relationship. I look at I'll make an example with my aunts, who are my uncle's wives. Those women know why they're there, and they don't care what society says. And then I was like, this is the type of marriage that I would love to be in. Be completely present in that marriage. Then it's not shaken by people in the outside. Then I was like, but then start applying it in your own life. Be completely present in your own life so that you're not shaken by other people. Now I walk in malls and people are like, oh, I like your beads. Before, I wouldn't do that. I'd buy them, they'll pile up. Because my friend wears a weave and heels, and she's very, man, when I'm wearing this long skirt and all star in this Africa, I'm gonna look fun, man. Like, and then you like, okay, fine, let me just relax my hair. Now I'm just to fit in. And I cut my hair last year. I haven't combed it since then. And I was like, yeah, this texture is very sore. Don't play with it. And and when Terry spoke about that conversation you have with your father, I had it this year when I turned 30. It was my own personal birthday gift. I said to him, I appreciate everything that you've done for me. I appreciate the schools, the lifestyle, the everything, but you were never there. I don't know you. You are a total stranger to me. And I think certain careers, people become those careers. So he's a journalist. he's ever ready for any question. Ever ready. You ask him, so why is this wall grey? You know, Nana, when they put, so I said to him when he sat down, this is not a job interview. This is not your work. This is me and you. I need you to understand that every time when I say something and you say to me, hey, you know I could have been so far if it was not for a car accident, it hurts. Because I never asked for that to happen. Every time when you say, yeah, no, but you know, Ban's daughter, yeah, she's turning 29. Oh, go to Tenga estate, it hurts. Don't compare me to other people. Appreciate who I am to you. Because at the end of the day, there's a certain part in your life that I make functional as a child. And for the first time in 30 years, my dad kept quiet the whole conversation. He's not the type to keep quiet. He's ready. From the second word, he answers you. Before you even complete the sentence. No, I know what you wanted to say. Yeah. And he doesn't know how to express himself. And sometimes it's how they were brought up. He is very defensive. And he wrote me an email telling me about our first meeting together. He's like, there's a lot of things that are cultural when you grow up, Nana, that you don't see that they hurt your child. Certain things I thought when I said it will motivate you to do certain things, but I never knew that it hurt you. To see my father's signature and I'm sorry in one email, it made my whole entire life. I was like, now, girl, we work on what you want to achieve, and you're on the same place with this man now. You communicate. You don't talk. Because he talks, then you listen, and then he passes. And that's it. That's the type of parenthood that we had. How you feel about that? Akananda? Yeah, he tells you, so you're going to finish school. If maybe you can't anymore because of certain things, he doesn't want to hear that because his image in society is what was important for him. That I am whoever and my daughters must be, and then I am whoever and my wife must be. That's why that talk I told him that you need to differentiate us and you. You've achieved whatever you wanted to achieve, but you can't boil it out on us. So what I will say is that what I found with authentic self-love is have that truthful conversation first. Unpack who you are. Accept your past mistakes. You can't reverse them, even if you could delete those Facebook posts, you cannot reverse it. And have a game plan that is realistic. Don't put extra pressure on yourself on another game plan that you know that it's not going to be achievable. Call those people that hurt you. Sit them down. If you can't, some people talking, it's not their strongest point, write them a letter and give it to them. Let them read it. This time you don't care about their responses. You care about offloading whatever has burdened you. And love this person. Look in the mirror every day and tell yourself how fine you are. Your brain registers it every day. And your actions will start mimicking what you're saying on the mirror. And for the ladies, you are built your own way. There is no one like Teboho. And there's nobody who can ever have my figure. So love your own figure. Leave the other one's figure. It's theirs. They love it the way it is. So that we can also start growing each other as women. Because I think we actually push each other down more than growing each other. Oh, now I can talk, Kim. And the other thing, the last thing, would be cry it out. Don't be scared to be vulnerable. Besides the other people, if you're not vulnerable with yourself, how do you expect to be load-free? Tell yourself, you know what, that's how you messed up this time. This is a big deal, big time. So that you can be able to pick up from where you left off and make a different journey. So in closing, authentic love for me is knowing who you are, where you come from, except that there's certain things you can never change about yourself. Your family, your parents, how you build physically, but there's a lot of things that you can change, that you have the power to change, and do that. Thank you.